What is going on, guys? My name is Chazz Paisley, and if you clicked on this video, you obviously want to know why women hate nice guys. Well, you're right where you need to be, because in this video, you're not only going to learn why exactly women hate nice guys, you're going to learn the mistakes nice guys make, why nice guys can't maintain relationships and are often friend-zoned, and what you need to do to cure your nice guy syndrome once and for all. But who the hell am I? Why should you even listen to me? Well, for the majority of my life, one of my main goals has been to figure out how to have a long-lasting, healthy, successful relationship with women. You know, just to give you guys some backstory, growing up, I was the stereotypical nice guy. You know, I'd grown up on Disney films which paint the image of the prince saving the princess. The guy should basically bend over backwards for the girl. To make things worse, I grew up in a single parent household with just my mom, and she taught me to be respectful and nice, especially to women. And I didn't have a masculine figure or role model growing up. So naturally, I became a nice guy by default. Not only that, but I never got a good example of what a healthy relationship was supposed to look like since I grew up in a single parent household. So I modeled my relationships off of all the Disney films and what my mother taught me. So when I actually started getting into relationships, a common theme that I would honestly run into was either being friend-zoned or girls just not being attracted to me. In fact, my first relationship ever that I got into, that lasted for about 3 to 4 months, the girl ended up telling me that she was no longer attracted to me. And for years, this was a trend in all my relationships. Every relationship I'd get into, the girl would lose attraction for me over time, and I'd just be left like, what the fuck is going on? Now, although this was a tough pill to swallow, seeing this happen over and over and over again, I had to acknowledge that I must be doing something wrong. And this acknowledgement taught me so many things when I actually figured it out. And the main thing I figured out was that being nice and being respectful does not create attraction in women, even though that's what we're told to do. And it is definitely not what keeps your relationship going short and long term either. And once I understood this concept that being nice and respectful wasn't the way to attract women and keep women attracted, led me on a journey of sorts. A journey to answer the question of what actually attracts women and what actually keeps them attracted long term. Because up until that point, I had thought that being nice and respectful was what did that, and that's what I was taught growing up. And this journey led me to literally obsess over this question. And it led me to having experiences with many different types of women, ranging from short-term interactions to long-term interactions. Some turned into hookups, some were one-night stands, some were just short friendships, some were friends with benefits, and some long-term relationships. But I was doing all this to figure out the answer to my question. That question being what causes long-term attraction in women? And how do I use that long-term attraction to create a healthy, successful, long-lasting relationship? Fast forward to today. After going through all of these experiences, I've not only answered my question, but I've successfully put the answers I've got into practical use. And I've been using that wisdom I gained to create a healthy, long-lasting relationship in my current relationship over the past 3 years, where I've been able to maintain high attraction with my partner. That's only increased over time. All of this has happened not by random luck or chance. It's happened through the wisdom I've gained through the experiences I put in. And by the end of this video, you're about to gain that wisdom too. So with all that being said, let's get into it. So I know this might sound a bit confusing, but the first thing you need to realize is that there's actually nothing wrong with being nice and respectful, especially when it comes to interacting with women. And I know you're probably scratching your head with that statement because I just spent the last other part of the video saying how this messed me up, but you'll understand soon. What you need to understand is that although there's nothing wrong with being nice and respectful, in most scenarios, it just doesn't cause attraction. In some scenarios, it can though. In order to be nice and respectful and have it cause attraction, you have to be right in the middle. And this is the problem with most men. Most men who are nice and respectful are either too nice and respectful to the point where it's fake, or they're on the other side of the spectrum where they're too nice and respectful to the point where they don't ever state their actual desires towards the woman they like. I want you to take a second and put yourself in the shoes of an attractive or just average woman who's probably had many different experiences with many different types of guys. Most guys she's going to interact with are probably going to be nice and respectful to her regardless. And all of those guys are probably going to want to sleep with her. And how many of them actually communicate their desires in an appropriate way? The issue with being too nice and too respectful is most of the time, you're not communicating your desires in an appropriate way. As I stated before, if you're using your niceness and respectfulness to try and sleep with her, it's not gonna work. And if you're hoping that she'll just make a move on you because you're being nice and respectful, it's not gonna work either. So the way you resolve this is simply continuing to be nice and respectful, not for her, but for yourself. and also communicating your desires with her. So if you want her, you tell her that. Seems simple, but this is an issue I see a lot of guys having. And this issue is something that I had to go through and learn for myself. Because in trying to learn how to answer the question I had at the start of the video, I had been on both sides of the spectrum. There have been many opportunities I missed out on, simply because I was too afraid to state my desires to the girl, because I was afraid to get rejected. I've also been really nice and really respectful to girls, thinking that that is gonna get me somewhere. Or I would be too nice and respectful as a front, so that I would get her to like me, so I could sleep with her. Both instances obviously didn't work long term or short term. In some rare scenarios, maybe it would work, but I would never be able to keep the act up. And that's the issue, you're acting. And this is something that took me many failed relationships to learn. It was only after I realized that I had to be in the middle that I started having consistently better relationships with women. It was only after I realized that if I'm gonna be nice and if I'm gonna be respectful, it's because I want to be, because that's who I am, not because I want something from this hot girl in front of me. And on top of that, I had to realize that if I'm gonna be nice and if I'm gonna be respectful, I also have to consistently respect myself and be nice to myself, which means communicating my desires to her. So if I wanna hook up with this girl, I need to communicate it with her, because 99% of the time, she's not gonna make the move for me. By doing these simple two things, I was now able to be in the middle of the nice guy spectrum, and I was also being authentic to who I am and my true desires. This is what nice guys don't do and need to learn. Now, if you have any brief questions, put them in the comment section down below, and I'll try and answer it. Or if you're really serious and you want to guarantee that you overcome your nice guy syndrome, sign up for a one-on-one coaching session with me. Also, make sure to download my free ebook that I made to specifically help you navigate and understand the 10 secret stages of success you'll 100% be going through on the way to achieving your goals. You can find the links to both of these in the description or the pinned comment down below. Now, as much as I wish it was that simple to overcome your nice guy syndrome, that's just the start of it. Once you can understand that you have to act in the middle, you can start to apply the next concept that I had to realize throughout my journey of understanding why women hate nice guys and how to create healthy, long-lasting relationships. And this next concept is that nice guys struggle with maintaining polarity. Now, this is a concept that most people don't know anything about, and is a concept that is honestly under attack by our current society. Now, this might trigger some of you. To be honest, I don't care. This is what I learned. If you don't like it, you can click off. But what I have learned is that men and women are different. Men and women do different things, like different things, and it's this way for a reason. I don't want to go too deep on you guys, but at a core level, we are energetic, magnetic beings. And what I mean by that is women and men are just physical manifestations or aspects of the masculine and the feminine. You can think of masculine energy as a magnet, and you can think of feminine energy as a magnet. When masculine energy acts in the way that it was predetermined to or designed to, it has a strong magnetic field that attracts things to it. And what is magnetic energy going to be attracting to it? Feminine energy. Feminine energy is the same way. It's a magnet. When a woman is acting in her feminine, she has a strong attractive force that attracts men to her. It's the same both ways. But when men start acting feminine and women start acting masculine, the attraction dissipates and the sexes stop functioning in a healthy way. Nice guys are men who are feminine, and because of this, they don't spark attraction in women. This is a big issue with nice guys today. They are not in their masculine polarity. I can go super in depth on this, but in short, masculine polarity usually involves men taking action, going for the things they want, overcoming and challenging themselves and overcoming obstacles, being a leader, being strong, being able to support and lead other people. I'm not going to go super in depth on it now. I actually have a video on this that you can look up on the card on screen above, but in short, those are some things that create masculine energy within you and allow you to attract women into your life that are feminine and that actually want you because they feel the attractive force of your own masculine force, your own masculine aura. And I know this might not seem that important, but this is the most important part because most nice guys give off a feminine aura, a feminine energy. And this is why they keep getting friend zoned, because girls literally see you as a girl, as a woman, because you're being feminine. So even though they may want to like you, they may want to be attracted to you, you just don't do it for them because you don't create that spark within them. But if you can understand this concept of polarity and learn more about it, and start acting in ways that is masculine, acting in ways that generates masculine energy within you, then when you're interacting with women, you will start to naturally have them become attracted to you, just by you being there and being yourself and stating your desires towards them. Beyond all of this though, the simple truth of the matter is that most nice guys are just delusional and inexperienced. Now, this isn't necessarily their fault, because in today's society, the truth is true masculine energy is not honored. It's actually ridiculed, and that's why so many men end up suppressing it and end up becoming nice guys. But it is your fault if you're continually having bad experiences with women, or like most men, no experiences with women, and you're not doing anything to change this. If you're not happy with your dating life, the only person to blame is you. Stop blaming society, stop blaming women, stop blaming the dating market, and stop blaming your genetics. And this is all coming from a person who did this. I used to do this. And it was only after I stopped blaming everyone but myself, took responsibility and accountability for my experiences, and started putting myself out there consistently, and getting experience with women, that I was able to learn everything you've been learning in this video. This may be a hard pill to swallow for you guys, but the girl of your dreams isn't going to just magically appear in your life one day and everything will go on to be happily ever after like they do in the Disney movies. The honest truth is that even if you get into a relationship, most people end up having shitty to lukewarm relationships. And they end up staying together because they can't find anything better, or because they're afraid to be alone. Do you want a relationship like this? It's actually only the minority of people who get to experience healthy, long-term, fulfilling relationships. I mean, the divorce rate in America alone is around 40 to 50%, and higher for subsequent marriages after that. So if you don't figure out your issues when it comes to relationships, you're literally leaving the chances of you experiencing a healthy, long-lasting, fulfilling relationship to a coin flip. And trust me, I'm not saying all of this to scare you guys. I'm saying all this to empower you guys. Because I was in your exact position, and it was only after getting out there, getting experience with women, and overcoming the nice guy act, that I was able to finally learn what it actually takes to have healthy relationships, and how to do it successfully. And I want you to be there as well. So if this video resonated with you, and you now realize why women hate nice guys, your next step is to watch this video, where I teach you how to be more selfish, which is an essential step you need to overcome your nice guy syndrome.